Jamal Adams wants off the Jets. He listed 7 teams that he'd be willing to go to, 2 of which are the Niners and the Seahawks. From what I've heard, that there's some steam picking up behind Adams to the 49ers, meaning clearly Adams is interested and the Niners might be as well. Do you think the Niners should go after Adams? Why or why not?
I believe the answer is simply yes, because the Super Bowl window is now. They already lost to Forrest Buckner, who was their best defensive player. You plug in a guy like Jamal Adams, who, let's face it, Jamal Adams, once he steps foot in this locker room, he's going to be the ultimate team leader. He will, no offense to Jimmy Garoppolo, but he is going to be just on par with Jimmy Garoppolo in terms of leading this team. That's the kind of leadership he brings to the table from LSU.
Right.
When talking to coaches, they say that Jamal Adams is equivalent to, even better to what Eric Reid was at LSU in terms of bringing that leadership and that, that fiery attitude that rubs off, that charisma, all that. That's Jamal Adams.
What Fred Warner is trying to do.
Yeah, what Fred Warner, he's the next man up, right? Yeah. So exactly. So Jamal Adams brings leadership. He also brings all-pro potential. We all see him, he's an all-pro. So why would you not go after an all-pro at the strong safety position when you know it's one of your glaring weaknesses on the back end of the defense?
Agreed. Also, if you don't go after him and he winds up on the Seahawks, they might win the division. Now they got the Legion of Boom again, and you don't.
Yeah. Whoever gets Jamal Adams is not only getting a player who produces on the field, but a player who produces off the field and in the community and inside that locker room.
Sure.
So whoever's getting Jamal Adams, it's a match made in heaven.
No-brainer. It's a no-brainer, right?
No-brainer.
He's a great player. He's available. You should want great players. And he's young.
Yep.
He's a great blitzer. He does everything. Yeah, so let me ask you this. Just based on your feel for the league and knowledge of history, how do you see this playing out? I mean, the Jets clearly don't want to lose their best player, but they may not have much of a choice. Do you think it's going to play out kind of like the Minka thing did last year, or are there differences?
Like the what?
Like the Minka trade did last year, where Minka
Fitzpatrick.
He wanted to be off the Dolphins. They didn't trade him initially, but then finally did before week 3.
That could very well happen. It just depends on how much Jamal Adams is willing to push. Right. At the end of the day, I think Jamal Adams also goes the professional route. He's not dumb. You know what I mean? He always plays it professional. Mm-hmm. So he will say the right things. We all heard about the trade rumors for Jamal Adams last year and how, he kind of got upset that the GM would say, no one is basically untradeable. And he took offense to that. And now it's stirring up again. So Jamal Adams simply could be traded. Whether or not that will happen, and will it be like the Minka Fitzpatrick situation? That remains to be seen, because there's still a lot of missing pieces out there. Without training camp, you can't really gauge how good these players are and the development stages that they're in until you see them on the football field. Even if they're not in shells, Grant, we see that all the time in training camp. Not in shells, but they're in shorts. But you can kind of see their movement skills and what coaches are saying to them. We pick up things, if they're saying the same thing twice, like, hey, bro, kind of need to pick things up, or you're not going to be playing very long. You're not going to be here. These are little things that we pick up so we can tell our viewers exactly what's going on. But without training camp, without preseason's now cut in half, we don't even know what's going to happen. So to go in blind and say that Jamal Adams, what's his value, right? Because so many teams are kind of scared to do anything at this point because you don't even know what kind of shape Jamal Adams is in.